Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in my most recent 7-star opening, I pulled Gambit. And if you were there, you might have seen me or heard me be a little disappointed. I do have a soft spot for Gambit. He was a 5-star I went for when he was in the featured and I got him, so he's pretty cool. But I didn't think he was the sort of champion that I necessarily wanted to use at a higher tier. However, straight away, about 10 seconds later, I ended up pulling this Gambit relic. So the relic specifically designed for him, and I figured we'd try them together. And I was actually pleasantly surprised because of this rune, which gives me 2,500 critical rating on my special 2s because they deal physical damage. And that takes it from about a 30% chance to crit to about a 70% chance to crit, which is a sizable and noticeable difference. On the stream, I ended up going into Realm of Legends to test out Gambit, and I wanted to see what his damage was like when you didn't crit, and I ended up critting about 10 times in a row, and I just couldn't stop it. I'll put a link in the description with the timestamp to that moment in the stream below, so if you want to check that out, please do. But for now, we will go into some Realm of Legends, and I'll show you what it looks like. So Gambit is pretty straightforward to use. All you want to do is get to about 2.9 bars of power, so just under your L3. You want to build up your charges by holding block along the way. Finding openings to do that is probably the main difficulty with playing him. And once you're just under 3 bars of power, you want to parry, charge heavy, and go straight into an L2 without letting the heavy connect. That pauses stuns during specials, converts all your charges to prowesses, and you see this pretty big damage. The strike is really nice for him, keeping up the tempo and keeping up combos. It can actually really help with stun chaining if you really want to. But as you can see, we're right back to another L2, another big crit, and that is a lot of Winter Soldier's health taken off very quickly. So I'm pretty sure one more L2 is going to finish here, so we're just going to bait out some more specials, build up our charges again, and get back to another L2. Usually for a fight like this with Gambit without the relic, you would have to retry this about 10 times to get the crit RNG that we just got there. But the relic completely transforms this. I did this first time right into this video, and we got this. And if you don't believe me, please check out that moment on the stream where I couldn't stop him critting. But as you can see, 1 minute 14 to take down Winter Soldier is a pretty decent time. Around this moment in the stream, just after testing him in Realm of Legends, I figured that because the crits are so consistent, he could probably end up doing some pretty nice times in BattleGrounds and fairly consistently. And he actually did pretty well. So after the stream, I asked a friend to help me record some content, and that's what we're going to go through now. So we're starting off with this Nick Fury. This is a rank 4, so about 180k health. The game plan is a little bit different to Realm of Legends. I'm only going to go to just over 2 bars of power, because I know that this L2 is going to pretty much take him down to his second life. But we're going to find our openings to hold block. If Nick throws an L1, it's actually a pretty nice opening to get charges because it doesn't do too much damage, and because you're a mutant, you don't have to worry about the unblockable quite as much. So we'll bait out this L2, get our final charges, and then we're going to bait a heavy attack, let him throw it, and then charge our heavy right into the L2. And can we just appreciate that in 30 seconds we've taken down 180k health, which is not too far away from your average rank 4 defender's health pool. So all we've got to do now is repeat that process. You could try and throw an L1 and take him down, but I wanted to be really sure of it, so I wanted to just get back to my L2, and we really don't need too many charges here, so I'm just going to let him throw a heavy, charge mine, and then go into the L2, and that finishes him off in under a minute. Under a minute for a rank 4 Nick Fury is really not too bad. For context, I did a video recently with my rank 5 Valkyrie. She did this fight in 52 seconds. So 7 seconds slower than a rank 5 Valkyrie is not too bad. And I'm sure the next question is, what if he doesn't crit? And it's a fair one, because BattleGrounds is all about consistency, so you really want someone who can consistently get these sorts of scores. So I'm just going to show a screenshot from a match I did on stream after I pulled Gambit. I didn't crit in this matchup until the second life, by which time a non-crit would have killed him anyway. So if Gambit, without critting in the first life, can still put up a 77-second 49k score against a rank 4 Nick Fury, I really think he's got something going for him. Again, I'll put a link in the description with the timestamp to this particular fight if you want to check it out. So this next fight is against a rank 4 Kingpin. As you can see, he's got a little bit more health than a Nick, so it means that 1L2 probably won't take him down in 30 seconds, but Gambit is still very good for him. Another thing that might slightly slow you down is that you have to bait L1s from Kingpin in general because you don't want to deal with that unstoppable. So one thing to note in this fight is that I don't actually have to take too much block damage with Gambit. We all know that the AI can be a little bit passive at times, and that's when you can use it to actually build up your charges. So you can either do it in specials, like I'm doing here, or when Kingpin backs off here a little bit, I just hold block because I'm going to let him dash in anyway and bait out this special. So I may as well get some charges while I'm doing it. So another thing here is that I can't do a parry into a special because he might shrug it, and I can't heavy counter because of his unstoppable, so I'm just going to heavy counter his special, get my prowesses that way, bait him into a dash and go for my L2 there, and that very nearly takes him down anyway. Then we're going to go for the striker, chain into an L1, and that does the fight. That L1 would do another 40k damage or something like that, so you can see that he's got some pretty good range for BattleGrounds. So the last match we're going for today is against a Quicksilver. You might notice that my stat focus with Gambit has changed in this fight, and this is actually the first one that I did, and then I changed it to the special damage. The reason that I went for special damage instead of crit is that this amount of crit rating only adds another % chance to crit on the L2. So overall, I felt that special damage was worth more than 1% chance to crit. So in this fight, we're going to use Quicksilver being passive or his specials to build up our charges, and then we're just going to watch out for the unstoppable and make sure that he doesn't do anything too annoying. So here he throws his L2 and we can get our final few charges. We're up to 10 now, that's the sweet spot. And now we're just going to try and line it up so that we can throw our L2 while he's stunned. Quicksilver can evade while stunned, so you need to trigger it before you go for it. So we trigger it, charge heavy, he's stunned, the stun is paused, and we go for a massive L2. Then we can go for a striker, and here I make a little mistake actually. I forget that the concussion would have stopped that unstoppable from proccing. So what I really should have done was just carry on hitting him, go for an L1, and that would probably have pretty much KO'd him. But as it is, we waste about 10 seconds by baiting out that special, and even with the time wasted, we willpower healed up to 100%. We take him down in 58 seconds. That could be, as I said, about 10 seconds faster. But overall, I think it's a pretty impressive score. And that just about wraps up the video. So my initial disappointment has definitely been addressed. I actually really like him, and I would probably rank to him if I duped him, because he's got the prestige play as well, which would be great for the Alliance. Without being duped, I don't think I'm going to rank him, but I am definitely pretty happy to have him. I've got more ideas for content to do with him and do some synergy videos, go into some Eternity of Pain maybe, and try and do a couple fights from there. But let me know if there is anything you particularly want to see from Gambit, if there's more BattleGrounds content, any particular champs you'd like to see him up against. And I hope that if you pull Gambit and like me were initially disappointed, I hope you can get that relic, and I hope you can test him out because it is pretty damn fun. I'm actually really happy to have this champion because, like I said before, I have a soft spot for him, and now he's actually pretty competitive. So with all of that said, I wish you all good luck with your 7-star openings, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Cheers.